Hello, you guys. How are you? My name's Krista Deary. I am praying I'm on the right page even. It's just been a little bit half crazy here at our home. I wonder if I can even see from my computer if I'm on the right page, because I have been known to not do this correctly. Anyways, I'm coming at you from Minnesota, and I was thinking, you know what? The best training I could have given you would just be to show like a live video of our last 24 hours, because all y'all would be like, okay, yeah, if she can do this, I can totally do this. It's a little bit nuts. So Chad's holding down the fort right now. We have 7 kids, 1 in my belly, number 8. I have one with special needs, Judah, our little miracle boy. In fact, his drool and some of his dinner is on my shirt. Real life for you. Well, thank you. I am just praying that I say something that is a blessing to you all, because my brain right now is kind of like, totally a mom life, normal, typical day in the Deary home. We call it beautiful chaos. I love my kids and they're precious, but some days are half crazy. So we currently live in Minnesota. I'm an Emerald right now. Chad is a Ruby ambassador. Like I said, we do have 7 kids, a special needs kid, and another one on the way. We've been in a lot of transition this year of shifting our family from Florida all the way up here to Minnesota. So we're bracing ourselves for the winter here coming up soon. I'm just going to take some time, though, to share a little bit about our story and whatever kind of comes to my heart. I mean, really, y'all don't need anything from me. You are on a precious team with quite a family tree. Do you realize your Plexus family tree, the legacy that you're a part of within Plexus, is pretty legit? I mean, you are on the right team at the right time with the right company, the right products. And so I just want to instill that in you a little bit further today, and just instill in you how much it's really go time right now. Maybe some of you kind of had a slower summer, or maybe you're coming out of a season where you feel a little bit discouraged, or you're questioning yourself, or you're questioning what you're doing. Well, I want to give you hope and encouragement and inspiration today. Can we do that? I'll tell you a little bit about our story. I'm already out of breath. Woo! You think I was just running around. I'll tell you a little bit about our story, and then we'll just see what comes out. I don't want to keep you guys too long. I love you. I better not read all your comments. I'll tell you nothing of our story. What was I going to say? Shoot. Real life, you guys. Oh my goodness. Okay, so when did I hear about Plexus? Oh, well, I totally know. It's October, isn't it? Chad and I were just talking about this. In fact, maybe we'll go live on our regular page here soon and just kind of open up a little bit more. October 3 years ago, 2014, was the breaking point for me that then affected the breaking point of our marriage and our family. To paint a picture of where our life was at, we had moved to Florida 10 years prior, thinking it was going to be our promised land. We had moved from Minnesota to Florida, and of course that sounds like a promised land. You got palm trees, beaches, and Disney World, right? So we're like, that is so cool that God would lead us to Florida of all places. So we went with high hopes, big dreams, part of a network marketing business back then with the dream of having time freedom, financial freedom, to then go into full-time ministry. That business we were a part of for many years. We never really earned income. We always spent probably, about 6 times more each month than we ever earned each month, to kind of give you a picture of the difference and what a great business we are a part of right now. We loved it, and we learned a lot that now we use in our journey with Plexus. But anyway, so we have these huge dreams, posters everywhere, dreams up on our fridge of what God could do. Instead, over the next 10 years, we faced trial after trial after trial. And so by the time I heard about Plexus, I was done. I was so done in every way. We had lost everything financially. Everything. To paint a picture, everything. Our home, 6 rental properties, 30-acre farm, Chad's job. We lived off the handouts of friends and other churches and other ministries and places in town that would give you free food. I mean, it was not fun. It stripped us of all pride. We sold as much as we could on Craigslist of our clothing, the kids' toys, anything we could find in our home that we could part with. we sold and got rid of it to put food on our table. So we had some years there that were just living on faith. We couldn't apply for a credit card. We'd lost all credit. There's no back door. You're kind of pushed up against the wall, which is a beautiful thing. It forced us to just figure things out and get it right, and it forced us to be dependent on the one true provider, and he showed up every time. Our needs were met, not necessarily all of our desires. And so we gave up a lot of things. We gave up everything we could, right? This blonde hair is new. It's kind of fun putting stuff in my hair again after many years of choosing not to. I would get it cut once a year, as inexpensively as I could. Or to do nails again. It's the little things, just to introduce those back to a lifestyle for fun. But we gave up a lot. So we were trying to climb out of this hole. We had, at the same time that we had lost everything, kind of when the market crashed, we had also invested hundreds of thousands into what we thought was a hotel on Clearwater Beach. Turned out to be a total scam. That man's now in prison. So we went through a lot. Our finances and then the amount of debt that we had, climbing out of it, we were slowly making our way, just fully committed to, we're going to get this right. We want to be blessable in our life, in everything that we're doing. And committing to the Lord, we're going to figure this out. We want to honor you and do things right. So as we were climbing out of it, we were in this tiny little rental property and really felt in our hearts we were supposed to have a baby boy. So I had 5 at this point now. Had a baby boy named Judah, whose name means praise. And in our mind, once again, just like we assumed with moving to Florida, in our mind we thought, the Lord has named him Praise. Surely we are entering into a victory season. Our life is going to turn around. Everything's going to be made right. We can begin dreaming again, because we had stopped dreaming completely. Just stuck them in a file. Literally took my dreams off and put them in a file. I'm so glad I still have them. One was Alexis. But we took them off and we thought, he's going to represent a new season. We're going to have Judah Forrest James. Had a beautiful birth. Water birth, it was a desire of my heart, great home birth. 5 weeks later, though, discovered he had 2 spontaneous brain hemorrhages. We have more answers to them now, but not enough to really fully understand the why behind it all. At the time, we assumed they happened when he was 5 weeks old. We have later found out one occurred in the womb. It's possible one occurred after. There's more on his blog, but our life spun out of control. It just did. I had so many questions for the Lord. I was hurting. I was broken. I couldn't fix my son. He's now 6, but his functions and abilities are that of a 6-month-old. So part of why I have drool and food on me was snuggling him as he sucked on his pacifier, like a little baby, after feeding him in a high chair. So it's not an easy life. Last night we woke up 6 times to seizures. Okay, so I really want to paint a picture here that no one can ever say I'm too busy to do this. He is a full-time kid. We love him, and he has changed our world and changed our life. But it really was a hard season. There was a lot surrounding his brain injury. Anytime a child has bleeding on the brain, the first assumption is that the parents have done it. So while Judah was fighting for his life, and we were told, number one, he won't make it, but if he does, he'll be brain dead, blind, and deaf. So we're being told that on one hand. At the same time, we're being investigated at 2 a.m. Our kids are being woken up, questioned, and we were treated as guilty for quite a while until answers were found. When that happens, that's trauma. It's grief. There was a grieving process to it, even though he's alive. We grieved the loss of what we dreamt he would be, if that makes sense. So kind of spun into that grieving cycle. Our kids had been very healthy up till then, not even ever had an antibiotic or an ear infection, nothing. So this really did jolt us. And it affected, which is interesting given the industry we're in now, it affected my credibility because people knew I liked natural health. And I remember being aware that, oh my goodness, I have recommended, chiropractors and nutritionalists and supplements to people, not within a network marketing business, just because they knew I liked natural health. Well, many were like, well, guess that didn't work for Krista. She should go back to the medicine world. So we kind of jumped into this caregiving role, and in that I neglected my health. And so that showed up about 4 years later. My thyroid was swollen. I was getting checked for cancer. My hair was falling out. I was very, very, very thin. And soon after that, discovered I was pregnant with Malachi, our seventh, very much a surprise baby. So at the time that I heard about Plexus, I had just had Malachi, and I have been prone to postpartum issues after every baby. But with Malachi, given the trauma we had gone through and some heart healing that needed to be done in me that I had not even been open to, I spiraled really bad. I gotta be careful. Gotta be careful because it's so not a compliant story, but it'll make me cry. I wouldn't have recognized myself. I still painted a smile. If I needed to go out in public, I'd put it on because I was a people pleaser. But I was not doing well, and I wanted to leave this earth. And I got to where I said, God, I don't believe in you. I don't even know why you put me here. There's no purpose to my life. I have nothing to give. I am no need to be compliant. Okay. I had no reason for living. In my mind, my thinking was that unclear that I needed to go. You can come in. Real life for y'all. My 3-year-old at the door. I felt like I just need to leave this earth, and Chad needed a new wife. The kids needed a new mom. In fact, today he just said, do I have your permission to share my side of the journey a little bit more? Because he was wondering how he was going to go on with all these kids. So we were just reflecting, given that it's October. I left our family one night in October. I had heard about Plexus about a few months earlier than October, I think in July. I had blown off my friend, ignored the messages. She had followed up twice, ignored her. So please remember that when you're reaching out to people, and if they ignore you, keep going. She had no idea what was going on at home. She had no idea. All she knew is that I had PTSD flashbacks because I had opened up that far on Facebook. But what if she had given up, She didn't know. I wasn't trying to be rude. I just wasn't interested. It looked like a diet drink, and that's not what I needed. So don't give up. Do not give up. Do not get offended. Do not get your feelings hurt. Do not think. Don't let your mind go anywhere with it. You just keep going. That name needs to stay on your list until they give you a cold, hard no, and maybe still then, because I gave her a pretty cold, hard no, that it was not what I was looking for. In October, I snapped and I left our family and tried to figure out how to crash our car, basically, or where to go so that he could move on with his life. When I came home to Chad, he said, I didn't think you'd come home. And sometimes you've got to hit rock bottom before you're willing to make some changes. Have you ever been there before? And I think a lot of people before they join Plexus kind of have to reach that point of, okay, enough's enough. Enough is enough. I have got to change something because nothing I'm currently doing is working. And so I got home that night, heard Chad say, I didn't think you'd come home. And I sat next to him and I just let it all out. I said, honey, you've got to realize I'm not doing well. I know you can tell I'm not doing well, but I'm really not well. I think I just need to leave. I need you to help me to figure out how I can end this. And it was a wake up to him that, okay, we got to get her fixed. We got to find a solution. Part of what held us back from finding a solution is that we were broker than broke. We didn't have insurance. Chad was self-employed, so he could work from home to help care for Judah. Our extra spending money every month was 2 Little Caesars pizza and a Redbox movie. So $10, right? $5 pizzas. There wasn't extra in the budget. I'm not sure what Chad rearranged in our bills so that I could order a bag of Slim. But I said, Chad, there's this girl and she sells this pink drink and she thinks it's going to help me. I have no clue what it is. It's called Slim. That's the extent of what I knew because I didn't open any info she gave me, any testimonies, nothing. I did no research. But I had tried everything else. I had tried B12 injections, supplements. I have in-laws, sister-in-law, brother-in-law that are chiropractors, so they had sent me stuff. Progesterone cream. I had tried all these things for all these years. It wasn't working. And so part of me was like really this drink's going to help, Maybe I do just need to have medication. Maybe I do just need to check myself into somewhere or a hospital or a loony bin. I didn't know where to go. So we kind of made a handshake of a deal. I knew they had a 60-day money-back guarantee, and so our deal was I would try it for 60 days. I would do what I was supposed to do for the 60 days, and if it didn't work, I would get my money back and go see a doctor, okay? And that's how it began. I became a preferred customer beginning of November, ordered 1 bag of Slim, and knew enough about natural health to not expect anything the first week or the first month. I knew already that it takes time to heal naturally. And I really wasn't sure I even wanted Slim to work, because then I'd have to tell people I was on it. So it stayed hidden in my cupboard, and I just put my head down and kept going through life and drank it every day. It wasn't long before I noticed there were some changes. Now I'm a lot more open about this. I increased to 2 Slim. The way I did it was I ordered a bag on eBay, so I do not recommend that. Now I know that's so not legal for those people to be doing, but I was like, wait, I'm noticing a change, because in some of those afternoons and evenings, if I had another panic attack coming on or an anxiety episode, I could literally drink a Slim and it would subside within 20 minutes. So this was a huge change in me, okay? So I had told Heather nothing, my sponsor. I did not tell her a thing. I just kept going, but was starting to think, I think I'm kind of feeling better, okay? End of my 2nd month, Chad looked at me from across the kitchen and said, I have my wife back. I haven't seen you like this in years. And soon the kids were making comments like, Mom, remember how you used to cry every day and now you don't cry? Hey, Mom, did you notice that you don't eat dark chocolate every afternoon? Hey, Mom, you don't eat ice cream every night before you go to bed. I used to eat a big old bowl of ice cream. I was totally an emotional eater. I would make cupcakes and eat half a pan myself. People just started noticing. I had friends noticing. People at church started noticing. There was a brightness to my eyes again. There was a shift occurring in me where no longer was I so consumed with me and my pain and my horrible life. I could think clearly again, and I could actually notice that there was other people in the world besides me and my horrible self. You know, everything was shifting, and I couldn't get over it. I thought, surely the Lord healed me, and it just happened to be while I was on this pink drink, because how in the world is a pink drink going to do this? It was so drastic, you guys. I was present in my home. I could wake up in the morning happy instead of just wanting to be done. I could go to bed without the anxiety. I wasn't having the PTSD episodes. I wasn't having the same flashbacks. I wasn't having, now it sounds funny, but I had very crazy irrational fears. If I just took a walk with Judah, I thought for sure someone was going to kidnap me. If the kids went to check the mail, I thought something was going to happen to them. They'd be hit by a car. There were nights I couldn't sleep because I would think a car was going to run into my children's bedroom window, and I would just sit there looking out the window. Like I was losing my mind, you guys. So within 2 months to have sanity and to feel like who I had been before I had kids, really, because I used to say, Chad, I was a good babysitter. I was so good. Why can't I be good as a mom? Well, my hormones, they were everywhere. And I hadn't learned about that correlation between blood sugar and hormones. I didn't know a thing. All I knew, though, is as I entered into the new year, into January, there was something burning in my heart. I remember telling Chad, because he was looking at starting a new business. Like I said, we weren't making ends meet. He hated his job or business, whatever he was doing. He didn't like it. He wasn't passionate about it. He was getting ready to start something new. I said, Chad, I want you to wait. I think God's going to do something in January. Random. It just was in me. Did not think it was going to be me. Did not think it was Plexus. I just thought he was going to do something in January. January 7th rolls around, okay? I had ran out of Slim for a day, still a preferred customer. I'm like going way too long on my story, you guys. But I ran out of it for a day, and it was enough of a change for me to realize that this did indeed have something to do with how much better I was feeling. And so when the Slim bag came with the mail lady the next day, I had a moment of not thinking, and I took a picture of it. It was ugly. There was no filter. I wasn't in it. It was literally just a picture of the bag of Slim. And I posted it without thinking, and I admitted what I had been struggling with, and it just went out. It went out on Instagram and on Facebook. And my motivation in that moment was, if there's one mom out there who was losing her mind 2 months ago, or she is now, if there's anyone out there that was struggling to the point that I was struggling, and no one knows, just like no one knew that I was struggling to that extent, if I'm willing to get over my pride and just admit it for a day, maybe this can help them. And that was it. That's as far as I could think. I didn't know there was ambassadors. I didn't know anything else. I just knew this had changed my world. And if I was sharing for just one person, that was going to be enough. Well, lo and behold, my inbox went nuts. And that was the start of a very unexpected journey, an unexpected business. I've got a 3-year-old crying outside my door. Oh, Daddy found him. Maybe Dee didn't. We'll see what happens here. Sorry, you guys. You can come in. Y'all hang on a second. We're still unpacking in here. Sorry, it looks like a hot mess. Hey, come here, buddy.
Hey, Mommy.
Yeah. Mommy's talking to some friends. Can you hang out with me for a second? Until Dad finds you? Okay. Can you say hi to everybody? Okay, this is Malachi. And he got his hair cut today, and they let him choose a color for his hair. So he's got pink hair right now. It's never happened before. Red hair, I mean, like Marshall and Paw Patrol, he said. All right, so inbox started blowing up. I didn't know what I was doing. I didn't know they had other products. And so I was like, Heather, quick, I think I need to become something else. Do I need to change my account? She's like, wait, what? Have you seen results? I'm like, yeah, I saw results. She knew nothing, you guys. And so I just started opening up 3-way messages like crazy because I knew nothing. So if there's anybody that's watching this or will watch it later, and maybe you just joined or you've been in for a while and you feel locked up, like you better know everything, that you should study the compensation plan, and you need to study like what's compliant, what's non-compliant. I'm still learning that. And you need to study every product and what it's good for and every medication that you should know about before you're telling people what to order. Just stop. Just jump in and bare your heart and be honest. Get over any pride and get over any fear and just start going. You're going to learn as you earn. You really are. And the best way to learn is by just doing it. So just jump in. Okay? Do that for me. It's worth it. So I jumped in. Didn't realize it, but I jumped in. And we just went crazy for a couple of months with 3-way messages. Okay. Hang on. Mommy's going to talk to them for a second, okay? So hang on. You're good and you can tell me, but we're going to talk to our friends for 1 more minute till Daddy finds you in here, okay? So what was I saying? This is real life for you guys. What was I saying? Okay, so that's how it started. I figured out as I went. Chad caught on that he liked this about the 3rd month in, as my income started creeping up, getting closer and closer to his. So our initial takeoff was quite fast. A lot of PV was part of it too, and I was still figuring it all out. I thought that since I started as a preferred customer, everyone did. So I just kept adding preferred customers until I caught onto the business side and sharing that part of it as well. But yeah, I mean, it really was many months. It took me a while to kind of catch up with, Lord, what is going on? And Lord, is this even from you? You know, because I wasn't expecting that I would do something. All those years of praying for increase and for breakthrough in our finances, I really thought God would bring a business idea to Chad. He's always been an entrepreneur. Me, on the other hand, I've been a mom for 16 years. And before that, I was a college dropout. I worked at a coffee shop and I babysat. And that's the extent of my resume. And I didn't feel like I had any skills. I didn't feel like I had anything to offer. I didn't feel like I was a self-motivated person. I've actually been quite shy. I fake it till I make it. I make myself do these, go live. I make myself talk to people, but it scares the bejeebies out of me. Phones scare me so bad. Phone conversations, oh my goodness, still to this day with my own family members. Phones scare me. Talking to people scares me. I get tongue-tied and nervous and feel like a total goober, okay? So no excuses there either, you guys. You just keep going. Get comfortable being uncomfortable. It's worth it, okay? So the journey keeps unfolding to the point that now, I'm just going to fast forward to the point that now Chatty Daddy is home full time. He builds Plexus, I build Plexus. We both kind of homeschool. We both kind of juggle. There's Daddy! Yay! Can you hang out with Daddy a second?
Can you chat me?
Okay. Okay. And we just juggle life together. We do it all together. It really is a dream come true, but still somehow it's still crazy. But I want to talk to you about a couple of things. We just got back from Maui, right? I was still battling comparison and intimidation going into Hawaii. We've had a lot happen in the last year, moving our family across the country. We couldn't get into our home for 6 months. We were staying with in-laws. We were traveling. Some churches asked me to speak. Found out we were pregnant with number 8. All these things were just kind of spinning, and I was like trying to figure out, how do I still work my business from my in-laws' house? And so much was happening. I didn't feel ready to go to Hawaii. We had just moved into our home the week before. I felt very nervous. I felt very large and pregnant, and didn't feel pretty enough, didn't feel talented enough, didn't feel like I was going into it with momentum to feel like a total rock star. Like, yeah, I've got this business figured out. I cried to Chad. I told him repeatedly, I don't want to go. Like, forget it. I just don't want to go. And he just kept saying, well, that's fine. I'm going without you then. He was going no matter what. But we went to Maui, a trip that I never would have thought I would have ever taken. One that I actually would have told you I don't need. When you go through what we had gone through financially and what we've gone through with Judah, you figure out what you need and what you don't need, right? Priorities line up real fast when you almost lose a child. Or when you go through any tragedy. You figure out what's important and what's not. And so I would have never thought that I needed to go to Hawaii. But there was a moment arriving there, you guys. That more so than the night I hit Emerald, more so than the day we picked up the Lexus and the team came out and flew out from different states to be a part of it, more than any other moment, more than the moments I gave birth, those were always proud moments. But I walked on to that resort and could feel the emotions just begin to build and build. And I was trying to hold it back, thinking, we're going to run into somebody we know. I'm just pregnant, and we've been flying for a long time. Just get me in my room. We get up to the room. I tried to go live and capture some of what I was feeling, but the moment came after that, and I went back in the room, and Chad's like, come on, let's go down to the beach. And I said, stop, I just need you to hold me for a second. And I lost it. It was as if I could just see the whole thing unfold. I could see the whole last 16 years of our marriage. His hand, that he was by our side through all the pain and all the junk. That the whole time he wasn't stressed out trying to figure this out. He had a plan, and he was working, and he was preparing us, and he was shifting things in our heart and getting our priorities realigned, and he was doing so many things. He wasn't scared, and he wasn't gathering the angels saying, what are we going to do with the dearies? Their life is out of control. He knew he had it all worked out. But I saw beyond that too, to all that had transpired in our journey. All those hard moments, moments of tears, moments of questions, moments of, did you really ask me to do this, God? Moments of getting my feelings hurt because not everyone in my life agreed with it. We were spoken out against by many, including our pastor. Close friends. I mean, it's not like everyone was like, oh, cool, dearies, go for it. Go do network marketing. That was not the case. There are plenty of times that Chad and I had lively discussions over how in the world Krista was going to fit this into her life, because it did affect him. I needed his support, I needed his help in the home, or we had to figure out how to hire somebody, right? He was helping with so much, especially that push to Emerald. He took over homeschooling, he took over cooking, he took over cleaning, and was it worth it? Yes, it was. But especially that day, I mean, getting there, it just like solidified everything. It finally just hit me. And for the first time ever, I felt proud of myself for having pushed through so many fears and so many insecurities, many that I'm still going to continue to push through. But there's also this burning in me that it's not fair that more people haven't experienced this. And I'm not talking about the beaches or the resort or the food or any of it. Just the feeling of accomplishment, number one, but also it kind of made me mad. I'm a very introverted yellow personality, okay? But there's some red that's come out of me since Hawaii because people that I love, who I love very much, and people within Plexus who follow our journey and follow our family, y'all, there has to come a point where you're gonna say enough's enough. enough's enough. The life I currently lead is not what I want, and I'm going to do whatever it takes to go as far as I need to go. And whether it takes me 5 years or 10 years, it's going to be worth it, because I can guarantee you it is. God knew that soon after us going Emerald is when he would confirm in our hearts, after 4 years of praying about it, he'd be moving us to Minnesota. There is no way we would have made it through our move to Minnesota financially or with our time or anything if it hadn't have been for the push we made to go Emerald right before that. God knows what's on the horizon for you. And I don't want you looking back and saying, oh, golly, if only we would have. What if there's something coming up that you're going to need this for, you're going to need the freedom for, the finances for, and maybe you don't even see it yet. He's put this in your hands for such a time as this. And so stop with excuses. Stop. I'm asking you with every kind of red I can find in me as a yellow, you've got to let it go. You cannot say you're too busy, because I'll just have you come over for a day and you'll be like, okay, cool. Yeah, I got it. Got your point, Krista. You're right. You're not too busy. You're not too scared. You can do this. You're going to have to lay down your pride. You're going to have to be coachable. You're going to have to realize this is really a business. You do need to treat it like a business. I'm not asking you to work for 14 hours a day, but it's a business. If you're being told to read a book, go read a book. If you're being told to listen to training every day, go listen to training every day. You are worth it, and your marriage is worth it, and your life is worth it, and your children are worth it, and the future is worth it. But you're going to also get there and realize this wasn't about the money. This wasn't about the rank. This wasn't about the Lexus. This wasn't about Hawaii. You're going to be so grateful, and you're going to look back on all of those desert seasons, the dry times, the hard times, the nitty-gritty times, the times when you thought you weren't growing at all, the times when you thought your points went backwards, the times where your strongest leg quit. You're going to look at all of those seasons and see the good in them. You're going to see all the things that you've learned in those seasons. I learn diddly squat in the victory seasons. That's your chance to be thankful and to remain humble when you're on the mountaintop, right? What else do? You look around and you say thank you. But when you're in the nitty-gritty times, you're being so refined. If you let it, it can make you bitter and resentful and make you quit if you let it. But if you have been walking through a hard time, then sit down and analyze it. Figure out what's going on. Look at yourself, get in front of the mirror and say, okay, what's holding me back? And address it and learn. And if you spot something in your life, maybe you're like, oh my goodness, I carry around so much anger and resentment and bitterness. No wonder people aren't drawn to me. No wonder they don't want to be a part of my business, my team. Okay, cool. Now you just addressed it. Go fix it. Go change. Learn how to love people. Heal your heart. Pursue heart healing in a big way. The more your heart is healed and the more you take care of yourself and you grow in yourself, the more you're going to have this overflow in your heart to pour into others. Learn how to be vulnerable and transparent and let people into your world, because you're asking them to do the same for you, right? They're going to have to tell you they're constipated. They're going to have to tell you they're battling depression and anxiety. They're going to have to tell you they're on 17 medications. If you take that first step of vulnerability and transparency, you just open up your heart, open up your life, open up your story, and put it out there. It is worth it. It is worth it. Who you are becoming in this process is worth it. So stop complaining. Stop looking to the left or to the right saying, well, she grew twice as fast as me. I remember watching Bridget join soon after I joined and watching her just fly right by me. I could have let that just bother me and quit, and I would have missed out on exactly what God was doing. Find your place. Be so proud of who you are and your place, because there's people that need your story. It's unique. It's just yours. And there's people that are going to be ministered to and inspired by your story. You are needed in this company. You are needed. And there's people that need what you have in your hands, just like I did. And they might be saying no to you right now. But at home, they're broken and they're hurting and they're crying out for a miracle. So don't you stop and don't you quit right before that happens for them, but also right before it happens to you. Deal? I have no clue if any of this even flows together. No notes, y'all. That's just my heart for you. I am burning inside with more passion than ever before to be very bold about this and to not let any of y'all hold yourselves back anymore. No more excuses. Not your upline, not your downline, or your sideline. Just decide what you want and run after it. And when you hit the hard times, keep on celebrating and keep on learning, keep on growing. And join us in Maui. Deal? All right. I love you guys. I'll talk to you soon. Bye.